friends, my name is Faye and you're watching Mystery Date with a Book. Today we're gonna be talking about popular books that I did not like. Now, big disclaimer before we start, before we go anywhere. I'm sorry if some of the books that I didn't like are some of your favorites. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not really sorry because we all have different tastes and we have to respect each other. So if I say something unpleasant about a book that you really like, please don't take it personally. It's not a personal attack. It's just that I didn't like it. That's all. You can't please everyone. So authors can't please everyone either. So some people are gonna like a book and some people are not gonna like it. It's life. I'm sorry, get used to it. Okay, now I have 5 books here on my list. There are quite a few more, but we're going to stick to 5 because 5 is a nice number. So, the first book that I did not like, I didn't enjoy, I couldn't even finish it for goodness sake, was my only DNF of the whole year, of the whole 2019. That was Cersei by Madeline Miller. I don't know why people like this book so much. It was very dry. It was very... I know it was very character driven, and that's not something that I enjoy. I'm more of a plot driven person, so maybe that was a major point for me. But yes, I think just the writing style, really, it was just very dry, and the story wasn't going anywhere at one point. I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna waste my time reading a book I'm not enjoying. So I DNF'd it. That was my only DNF of the year, which is kind of sad because I don't like DNFing books, but also I don't like wasting time on a book I'm not enjoying myself, and yeah. So I DNF'd that one. Not for me, thank you very much. Okay, now the next one might lead to some hate comments. It's a very popular series here on BookTube. Actually, the next 2 series. Yeah, the next 2 series are very popular on BookTube. I tried them. I read the first book and I didn't like the first book on any of those 2 series. The first series I'm going to talk about is The Raven Boys, so The Raven Cycle, by Maggie Stiefvater. I don't know what the fuss is about. I don't know why people like it that much. I thought that Blue was an interesting character, I'll give you that. She was really good. And one of the boys, I can't remember his name, he was really well developed as well. He was really, really good, really interesting. But the whole plot, it just kind of, it didn't interest me at all. I didn't feel the need to go back to that book during the day and see what happened next. I couldn't care less, honestly. I'm sorry. No, it just didn't grab me at all. It was, yeah, I was very disappointed with that one. I read that one in 2018, I think, and everyone on BookTube was talking about it, and I felt like, what am I missing here? Am I not reading this right? Is there something I'm missing here? Because that book was not that great, guys. I don't know why everyone enjoyed it that much. It just wasn't for me. Not for me. So I only read the first book in the Raven Cycle and I stopped. Maybe the story gets better as we go along through the series. I don't know, but the first book, it didn't grab me. It didn't do it for me, sorry, no. Okay, and the next series, which is also very popular, and I know I'm gonna get some hate comment for that. That is A Court of Something Something. All the titles in this series are very similar, so I don't know which one's which. Court of Something Something by Sarah J. Maas. Oh my goodness. What do I even say about that? The first one was meant to be a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, as far as I know. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. The very start of the book, it's not a spoiler because it happens at the very start of the first book in the series, so if you haven't read it, don't worry, it's not a massive spoiler. This girl, this main character, she goes into the forest looking for her dad, I think, who's been missing, and then she sees, I think it's a wolf and a bear, something like, I can't remember, guys, it was 2 years ago. Um, so she sees these two wild animals, and she feels threatened, so she kills the wolf. I'm pretty sure it's a wolf. She kills the wolf, and it turns out the wolf was actually a fae. He was a very magical being, and sometime later, his friends come looking for him, and then instead of, taking revenge, which would be a natural reaction for them, no, they take her home and make her live in this big palace. I'm like, that's not, no, that doesn't make any sense. The consequences for her action, for killing one of his best friends, doesn't match the crime. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody came and murdered your best friend, even if it was by accident, if somebody murdered your best friend, you wouldn't take them in, make them live in your castle, would you? Like, so yeah, no. I have a lot of problems with this series, with the first book anyway, because I only read the first book, and no, a lot of things don't make sense. The consequences for their actions don't make sense. It's, no, I know it's fantasy, so you know, take it with a pinch of salt, but no, that was too much. Like, it didn't make any sense for me. So, if you like this series, good for you, enjoy it, but it's not for me. I'm not gonna be reading the rest of the series. Nope. Okay, now the next one is a classic, and I hear a lot of people agreeing with me, but also you have this other side of BookTube who absolutely adores this book, and that is The Great Gatsby by, I am really bad with names. Something Fitzgerald? No, Scott. I need to work on memorizing names. I'm really bad at names. Okay, so anyway, The Great Gatsby, I'm sure you've all heard of it. It felt like an assigned reading, like a book that you read for school. That's what it felt like. It was not relatable at all, because it was so old, it's almost 100 years old by now, and it wasn't relatable at all. It was racist. It was, I know, see, I know you have to consider that when they wrote this book, when the guy wrote this book, it was okay to say certain things. It made sense in their culture back then. But even so, even without the racism part, which was okay in that culture in that time, it was just so boring. So boring. Yeah. If I wasn't listening to it as an audiobook, I would have DNF'd it, because it was so dry, so boring. It was nothing like the film that we've all seen with Leonardo DiCaprio. It was nothing like that. It wasn't all parties and, elegance and class. It wasn't that. No. It was a very boring, character-driven book, and it was not relatable at all. No. So, yeah, I didn't DNF it, because I was listening to it as an audiobook, which is easier. But I struggled to get through it. I really did. Yeah, it was not an enjoyable book. No. Now, I don't know why teachers are still assigning books like that to students. I mean, as a teacher, I want to get my students excited about reading. I want them to be lifelong readers. I want them to read for pleasure. Now, if you force someone to read a book like that, a book that's not relatable at all, what do you think that's going to do for them personally as a reader? They're just going to push books away. Reading's not for me. Reading is boring. So, in my opinion, I hope teachers are not assigning that kind of book anymore. I don't know, I'm not in school anymore. I'm just working as a teacher in a primary school. And I hope that books like The Poet X or books by Angie Thomas on the come up, or The Hate You Give. I hope books like that, books, relatable books that are helpful to teenagers, those kind of books are being assigned instead. I know that the kind of language that Angie Thomas uses in her books might be seen as a bit rude by some teachers. You know, you wouldn't assign a book with swear words in them. As a school, you know, it's not something you want to encourage. But the books themselves are so good. I think, yeah, if they could get like a clean version of those books so they could assign them to the children and get them to read relevant books, that would be so good. But yeah, I don't see schools assigning books with swear words in them, so I don't know. It might be a while before we get there. I don't know. So yeah. Teachers, please assign more relevant books. Assign better books. Please. Okay, now the next and final book, or series actually, that is very popular here on BookTube, but it did nothing for me, was Every Heart a Doorway. It's the first book in the Children of something series. Oh, what is it called? Anyway, Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon Maguire. Oh my goodness. I don't know what the fuss is all about. Like, I like the premise, I like the concept of having children that came from magical lands come together so they can, you know, work through their traumas and all that. Like, it sounds very interesting, I have to say. But the actual book, I read the first one, I don't know, I was a bit disappointed. I don't know what the fuss is all about. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. Or maybe it's just not that good and, you know, people are hyping it up just for the sake of it. I don't know. I honestly don't know. If you're a fan of that book, of that series, let me know down in the comments. Why? What's so good about it? Actually, any of these books that I've mentioned, if you're a big fan of any of these series or books, let me know, why are they so good? Am I missing something? I know I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. I have 2 degrees that prove otherwise. But not every book is for everyone. You know what I mean? What you find enjoyable, somebody else might not find enjoyable at all. So I want to know, what did you find enjoyable about these books that I've mentioned? Let me know down in the comments. Let's start a little discussion. And yeah, if you like this video, you know what to do. Give it a like, subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.